Have you ever had an argument with someone and thought you were absolutely right, only to walk away and ask yourself, wait a minute, was I the asshole? Well, that's where Reddit comes in. So join me each day as we read through the top Am I the Asshole post and ask the question, was this person indeed the asshole or not? As always, leave your opinion in the comments below and let me know if you agree or disagree with my take on it. Let's get started. Okay, so let's see. What's one of the top comments in the Am I the Asshole forum on Reddit today? Let's have a look. Am I the asshole, 26 female, for reporting my neighbor, 38 female and 39 male, son 11 male, to the police for trespassing? Ooh, neighbor drama. First time I've had that. Okay, so, or first time I've seen that, I should say. I live in England. I own my own home and understand I am fortunate, but I also worked hard for it. Any money I received or earned while working part-time until graduation went into my savings account. So you learn responsibility from a young age. Wish I had done that. Most people on my street are social housing tenants. Okay, I'm still determining what that is, but they've explained that you're eligible for the scheme if you're on low income. It's more secure than the private sector, as you mostly get assured tenancies, even though there are different tenancy types. Okay, I know only very little about this. I've seen some shows from England about this, what is it? Can't Pay, Will Take It Away. It's a show I watched from England, and I think this was a common thing that appeared on the show. A couple of others. What was it? Um, what was it? Benefits Britain or Benefits UK was another show that talks about this. So only vaguely familiar with this. So I might make a bad call here, but let's see. For a while, I got on well with my next door neighbors, Emily and Ben. They also have 3 kids, 13 male, 9 female, 4 female. But soon I started experiencing a lot of problems from next door. I work from home often and I could hear shouting next door constantly. Ben is 5'11", 145 kilograms, and quite loud and intimidating. And I could hear their kids screaming and crying. I had to ask them to lower their voices daily, and I even explained that I work from home. One of those situations with next door neighbors who can't control their emotions and have no concept that they're living in a community and that everyone can hear their dirty laundry. All right. The next set of problems revolved around the 13-year-old son. I spotted their son climbing over a wall to get into my garden to get his football back, which at first I ignored. Okay, I mean, that's a kid being a kid. He needs to learn boundaries, obviously. That's no excuse, but it happens. Then after it happened 10 times, didn't learn his boundaries. I finally decided to speak with his parents, and I can't remember why I said entirely. Still, it was something like, hey, I just want to have a word as I have seen your son trespass 11 times to get his ball from my garden. I would appreciate it if you could get him to stop as he is trespassing. And if he just came around to the front and knocked on my door and asked for his ball, I would happily collect it from him. Okay, reasonable. The neighbors apologized and they said it would make sure it doesn't happen again, that the son would knock. A few days later, their son did it again while I was in my lounge. I walked in my garden, which made him jump, and spoke with him. I told him I'd seen him trespass to collect his ball on various occasions. I told him I had talked with his parents and that trespassing is a crime. And I would appreciate it if he could just come to the front door and knock in the future. He didn't say anything. Ooh. And just went back into his garden. I informed his parents and they apologized, but it continued. Okay, the son's got some issues. I got fed up with it and decided to invest in CCTV finally. I wrote a letter to the residents on my road to give them a week's notice that CCTV is being installed at my address, and it will cover my entire garden and it will also cover my doorway. I also wrote that I am getting a Ring doorbell camera after installing CCTV. Is this a UK thing? If the CCTV is just covering your garden, your private area, and your front doorway, why do you have to tell your neighbors? Is this an England thing, or is it just you trying to be hyper considerate? I don't know. After installing CCTV, I thought it would stop the kids from trespassing, but it continued. I saved the footage, filed a police report against the son for trespassing, and sent all my evidence to the police. I knew there was a strong chance that nothing was going to happen, but I just wanted the son to have some responsibility. When my neighbors found out, they were mad AF with me, and since then, our relationship soured. My siblings found out about it and think I'm a total a-hole for this. Am I the asshole? Nah. 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 Not the asshole. Nah. Because look, you took all steps to try to deal with it first. You ignored it in the beginning because it's okay, he's 13, he's a kid getting his ball. Fine. But it happened a few more times and you didn't like it, which is reasonable. It's your property. You don't want people trespassing on your property. Humans, we are animals and we instinctively divide up, our area when we're sitting with people. And if, for example, we're at a table together, that's your half, that's my half. And if I slide something from my half onto your half, subconsciously, it's going to bother a lot of people. It's our nature. We are territorial. And that's fine. You have a right to feel territorial about your space. It's your space. You paid for it, right? So you told them to respect the space. You told the parents to deal with it. They didn't deal with it. Then you told the son. Nothing changed. So what else are you supposed to do? Just continue to ignore it? Continue to beat the dead horse? No, not the asshole. I think you did the right thing. I think if they are the type of people who scream and shout, that's already teaching their kids something very negative in terms of conflict resolution. And the son obviously is not learning about responsibility or consequences. So I think you did them a favor. By doing that, hopefully it will have an impact on the son and he'll learn about consequences, which he's obviously not learning from his parents. So, not the asshole. You did the right thing. I would have done it too. Let's see if I am on the lonely island here. Not the asshole. Once or twice is a mistake. 11 times is careless. Yeah. And, okay. Good point. You would also be potentially liable if he fell or injured himself going over the wall. This is the UK, not US. You can't. Okay. All right. Good to know. So you can't sue your neighbor for injuring yourself as you climb over their wall to commit trespass. Yeah, the US, we are litigious, aren't we? Let's see. Why is it relevant that you own your house and the others are in social housing? Um, why are you asking this question? Why are you picking that fight? I would say, yeah, you're right. It's not relevant. It's not relevant. It didn't really need to be mentioned. I would agree with that. But why are you picking the fight about it? The post is talking about trespass. But yeah, I get you highlighting that it's not relevant. It's not relevant, but again, a bit off topic here. To set the scene that they think they are better than other people, and we should be aghast that lesser beings kicked a ball onto their property. Someone's got a chip on their shoulder from that comment. A definite chip on their shoulder. How do I say this? Being on social housing, being on welfare doesn't make you lesser. It doesn't. Everyone needs help. We all need help. We all need help. Food stamps, government support. We all need help sometimes. It doesn't make you lesser. So I agree that maybe the original poster, that's something that shouldn't have been, that's something that didn't need to be said. But at the same time, it's looking like some people have some chips on their shoulders, Again, the thread is asshole, not the asshole. And in this situation, not the asshole. You're the asshole. How exactly is this kid retrieving his ball from your yard hurting you? Also, you made a big deal out of telling them not to bother you because you work from home, and then you're telling them have your kid knock. You're needlessly petty and hard to live around, and you call the police because a child was retrieving a toy. Congrats. Nah, I have to disagree here. Again, yeah, it's not physically hurting you, but it is your space. It would annoy me, if people kept coming into my space over and over and over when I asked them not to. It's my space. I paid for it. It's my area. And I don't think this person's making a big deal of telling the neighbors that they work from home. That's a real thing. Hey, I'm doing this from home. I like quiet. And when my neighbors are noisy, it stops me from doing this. So if my neighbors are noisy and disturbing me constantly, um, then I would complain at them because I need peace and quiet sometimes for what I do, even with my online classes. And I think the original poster, when they were talking about they work from home, it wasn't about the kid kicking the ball over to their side of the fence. It was about the neighbors arguing so loudly for extended periods of time. So I think you're connecting the wrong things here. They made a big deal about the noise, but that's not connected about this, right? If my neighbors came and knocked on my door to do something, to give me something, that's fine. It's an interruption that takes a minute. If they're screaming and shouting, that could take an hour and interrupt what I'm doing all day, right? So I think whoever this poster is, they're highlighting, they're putting together the wrong things here. So a lot of people say this poster is the asshole. Admit that you feel better than these people. Okay. So what if they do? It's not a crime to feel better than other people. Most people, most people think that they're better than some other people. I'm going to go off on a tangent here, but you always get these people that are like, you shouldn't judge, don't look down on other people, don't think you're better than other people. How many people do you really know that can completely follow those rules? I don't know anyone. I've met a lot of people who say you shouldn't judge, but telling people they shouldn't judge is in of itself a judgment, right? When you're telling people they shouldn't judge, you're telling them that they are being bad or being wrong for judging others because judging others is a bad thing. Thus, you are judging. So it seems like, it doesn't make sense to me. In my life, I can honestly say I don't think I have ever met anyone who doesn't look down on someone, on some group, on some community, on some type. Maybe that's just the people I'm around. I'm not saying they don't exist, but at least in the different circles I've been in the different places I've lived, that's been a constant. Everywhere I've worked, colleagues, friends, family, I've never in my life had people who don't look down on some type of other people for whatever reason. So I don't know. I think this is one of those things where when you say stuff like this, like you think you're better than other people, well, yeah, everybody thinks they are better than someone. And in this situation, it just so happens that the original poster might think they are better than people on social housing, which I disagree with. I don't think being on social housing makes you a bad person. But I do look down on people who scream and shout in public. I do think I am better than those people, right? So again, that's probably different from what the original poster intended, um, or the original poster means, but I think we all look down on some types of people. Um, yeah. Legally, you aren't an asshole, but as a neighbor, you sure are. Okay, so maybe I am the lonely island here. I don't think the original poster is an asshole for calling the cops for a trespass. Because again, I think they did their due diligence and contacted the neighbors, tried to resolve the problem peacefully several times, but nothing happened. So I think the kid needs to learn some responsibility that the parents obviously do not seem to be teaching the kids. So Lonely Island here, it looks like, but I would say not the asshole. But I think I'm gonna get a lot of disagreements on this one. What do you guys think? Agree, disagree? Am I the asshole here? Share your opinions and thoughts in the comments below. Let me know. Have a great day. See you guys next time.